Dear Mr. President, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I'd like to welcome once again President of the European Commission, Mr. Barroso, and express my gratitude for receiving our invitation and visiting us in the beginning of 2011. We pay very big importance to this visit. We consider this visit as a very important sign of strong partnership relations between European institutions and Azerbaijan. These relations have a good history. From the very beginning of our independence, we always felt support from the European Union, and we feel the support now. The visit of President of the European Commission also is a reflection of today's level of our partnership, and it's aimed at the future development of our relations. We highly value these relations. We are working and cooperating for many years in various formats. Now the Eastern Partnership Program, where Azerbaijan is a member of, creates new opportunities for our cooperation. We have a broad agenda of bilateral relations. These relations cover many areas, and today we, during our discussions and sincere and very friendly conversation, discussed almost every aspect of our bilateral relations and cooperation. We discussed the issues related to economic developments, economic cooperation, political reforms of Azerbaijan, the process of democratization, regional situation, security situation, energy, diversification issues, issues related to resolution of Armenian-Azerbaijan Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. And we see the mutual desire and wish to continue these relations and to build a strong partnership for many years and decades ahead. Today, among the major topics of our conversation, of course, were issues related to energy cooperation, and just signed joint declaration on the Southern Corridor is a very important and substantial document which covers all the aspects of energy cooperation between European institutions and Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan is a reliable partner. Azerbaijan is a country with a long history of petroleum operations. The first oil in the world was produced in Azerbaijan. The first oil from offshore fields in the world also was produced in Azerbaijan. And after independence, when we started to conduct our energy policy from mid-90s until today, Azerbaijan's policy in this respect always was very straightforward, open, sincere. We managed to attract billions of dollars of foreign investments, to create a good investment climate in Azerbaijan. And today we have a diversified supply routes. We have 7 pipelines for our oil and gas reserves, which transport our natural resources to different directions. We received a lot of financial resources as a result of our energy policy. And today we are in the new stage of our energy development, and relations with European institutions are very important for us. Issues of energy security, diversification of energy supplies are equally important for consumers, transitors, and producers, and combination of interests and combination of efforts, and to a certain degree coordination and synchronization of efforts, I think, will be the major prerequisite for the successful implementation of our plans. From the very beginning, Azerbaijan supported the Southern Energy Corridor. Actually, the projects which were initiated by Azerbaijan, particularly Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan and Baku-Tbilisi-Erzurum oil and gas pipelines, were the first important initiatives which created already the corridor. And after that, we started to work on transportation corridor. East-West transportation corridor is also one of our priorities, and we are working closely and very seriously in that direction. I think that the joint declaration which was signed today will have a good future. I'm sure that in the coming months we will see many more important developments in that respect, and energy partnership between European institutions, European countries and Azerbaijan will successfully continue. Today we also discussed the situation with respect to political and economic reforms. In Azerbaijan, we always discuss these issues in a very friendly, open, sincere manner, the way how it should be between friends, and we consider ourselves as partners and friends. We also discussed the issue of Armenian-Azerbaijan Nagorno-Karabakh conflict and the fact that for so many years Azerbaijan, the territories are under Armenian occupation. Of course, creates a lot of concerns in Azerbaijan. It's a potential threat to regional security, and we are very grateful to international institutions, particularly the European Parliament, which last year adopted a resolution with respect to Armenian-Azerbaijan Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, which is in line with the previously adopted resolutions by other international organizations like United Nations, OSCE, Council of Europe, and others. And the soonest resolution of Armenian-Azerbaijan Nagorno-Karabakh conflict will not only allow our refugees and IDPs to return to their homes and to restore our territorial integrity, which is recognized by the whole world, but also will bring stability, predictability, and cooperation to the region. Again, I'd like to mention that our bilateral agenda is very broad. I'm very glad to host Mr. President in Azerbaijan. I'm very glad that the year 2011 starts here in Baku from this very important visit. And I'm sure that the spirit of partnership will dominate the positive development in our bilateral affairs, and we'll see many more good news in the coming months. Once again, Mr. President, thank you for coming, and wish you all the best and pleasant stay in Baku.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's indeed a pleasure to be here today in Baku following the very kind invitation of President Aliyev. I had an excellent meeting with President Aliyev, very open, very friendly, very sincere in all the important points we have discussed that are of strategic importance for the relationship between Azerbaijan and the European Union. We covered the full range of relations between the European Union and Azerbaijan, relations which are growing in importance and depth by the day. And I'd like to thank you for the hospitality. In fact, I will stay also tomorrow. I will have the opportunity to speak at the historic, very important Baku University. We know well that Azerbaijan was the first democratic republic in the Muslim world, and we know also the significance of that university. So thank you very much for the hospitality, for what I believe started to become, in fact, a very, very important visit. The European Union supports the reform efforts undertaken under the leadership of President Aliyev. The President stressed to me today that the same values that are important for us in the European Union, the values of peace, of freedom, rule of law, and democracy, are the principles and the values that he takes as inspiration for the modernization of his country. This includes, of course, these principles, and we have discussed these matters, as the President himself said, in the spirit of openness and frankness, everything that has to do with democracy, rule of law, respect of human rights. A key tool for the implementation of our bilateral partnership is a new association agreement. The talks on this agreement were launched half a year ago. They are progressing well. The purpose is to deepen our strategic links and bring Azerbaijan closer to the European Union's market of 500 million people. And I'm also pleased to announce that we will start negotiations on a visa facilitation agreement in the near future. This will make it easier for the Azerbaijani people to travel to the European Union. So it's not just the markets that have to be closed, it's also people that should be closer. The European Union is deeply committed to helping Azerbaijan's political and economic reforms. We believe it is in the interest of all of us to consolidate the administration, the open economy in Azerbaijan. And in fact, we are actively contributing to that through financial cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, a driving force of our bilateral relations is the well-established energy cooperation. In my delegation was the Commissioner for Energy, Mr. Günther Oettinger, and we had a very important dialogue on this matter with President Aliyev. Azerbaijan is indeed a strategic partner and ally in this field. We appreciate the key role Azerbaijan plays as a producer and transit country. In fact, Azerbaijan was a pioneer in energy diversification when, back in the 90s, last century, it decided to initiate the Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan oil pipeline. Now it is time to turn to gas. And in fact, we made great progress in this area today. We signed a joint declaration on the establishment of the Southern Gas Corridor, through which the European Union will directly receive Azerbaijani gas. Realizing this corridor is in our shared strategic interest. It is vital for the security and diversification of our energy supply and demand. Azerbaijan wants to diversify its exports as much as the European Union wants to diversify its imports. The Southern Corridor will give Azerbaijan reliable physical access to the European Union energy market, which is the world's largest market in energy. It therefore provides a long-term perspective for the development of Azerbaijan. In the same vein, we look forward to a swift allocation process for the Shah Deniz 2 gas field. I hope this will enable us to announce the Azerbaijan-European Union deal of the 21st century. Ladies and gentlemen, we also discussed many other issues beyond energy. We discussed regional and international issues. I expressed my appreciation for Azerbaijan's role on the global stage, including its support for peace in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Kosovo. This is very much appreciated in the European Union. Looking at the immediate region, I shared my concerns on the lack of progress in Nagorno-Karabakh. I expressed my deep sympathy to the families and communities who suffer from it. We believe it is high time for all parties to make further efforts for a swift, peaceful solution. The work of the OSCE Minsk Group must therefore continue. As you know, the European Union fully backs its efforts. I use, in fact, this meeting to express to President Aliyev and through you my deep sympathy to the families and communities who continue to suffer from this conflict, which has been going for way too long. It is high time to make further efforts. And let me also stress that the European Union does, of course, support the principle of the territorial integrity of its partners, including Azerbaijan. We are fully backing the efforts of the OSCE Minsk Group, and we are already funding confidence-building measures on the ground, and we stand ready to provide further support if agreed by all parties, political support to the peace process, and reconstruction assistance once a settlement has been agreed. As you see, ladies and gentlemen, from this fruitful cooperation and from the agreements signed today, the partnership between Azerbaijan is strong, and between Azerbaijan and the European Union is strong and flourishing. But we can and must do more to tap its full potential, especially in the field of energy, but not only in the field of energy. That's why we have discussed the partnership for modernization, the importance of education, a matter that I know it's very close to the heart of President Aliyev, and what we can do together in that modernization. I therefore look forward to continuing working with President Aliyev to reach our shared objectives. This was a long overdue visit that I committed to do. Some people say that winter may not be the best time of the year to visit Baku. I disagree with that. As the old Azeri proverbs goes, never mind the storms or snow, for the sake of a good partner. And indeed, not only I found they here an excellent partner that I knew for some years now, but also it was in fact also a very good weather outside. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we pass to questions. First question is Der Spiegel, please.
As President Aliyev, I would like to know from you, what is the strategic significance of the Southern Gas Corridor for your country? And President Barroso, would you call this today's signing a breakthrough? The signing of the Southern Gas Corridor?
As you know, Azerbaijan for many years worked very hard in order to be able to deliver to the world markets its energy resources. It started from oil exploration and production, construction of the oil pipelines, a diversified supply route now we have, and our oil is being transported now by 3 pipelines to Black Sea and Mediterranean. And when we discovered the huge gas reserves, of course, the main challenge was to find the market for these reserves. The market should be comparable to the size of these reserves to the potential production profile. Today, we have a proven reserves of gas, which are at a level of 2.2 trillion cubic meters. And I'm sure that the potential reserves are even higher. Therefore, we need predictable, long-term, regulated by legislation, competitive markets in order to be able to produce as much gas as we can. Therefore, strategic importance of the Southern Corridor for us is that that will help us to realize our gas potential. I can tell you that we were working on this project for many years. When the contract on Chardonnay's gas field was signed in '96, of course, we could not 100% be sure how much gas it contains. But it happened to be that Chardonnay's gas field is one of the biggest gas fields in the world, with a gas potential of 1.2 trillion cubic meters. Then we had more discoveries. The last one was discovered in the end of last year, which adds not only to the supply volumes, but also to the probability that there will be much more discoveries in the coming years. We now have at the moment 4 pipelines for our gas, and we export our gas to 4 neighboring countries. And to a certain degree, we already achieved a diversification for the volumes which are available today. But Chardonnay Stage 2 will bring additional volumes, new fields which we discovered, and those fields where discovery is going to happen hopefully soon will demand markets. European market for us is a priority. It's a big market, growing market, close market, and the market where we already have our oil and experience of cooperation. I think that today we have a unique situation where interests of producers and consumers and transitors coincide. We established a strong partnership, and only the partnership of these 3 elements can lead to a successful result. I'm sure that the declaration which was signed will be successfully implemented, and Azerbaijan will be able to use its gas potential to the benefit of its people, for the future development of the country, for energy security of our friends in Europe, and we'll establish a partnership not for years but for decades.
I find it difficult to add anything to the extremely clear presentation of President Aliyev, but in fact, I find this joint declaration of the major importance. For the reasons he just underlined, it's a decision with major consequences that translates common goals and shared interests. It's a win-win, as we usually say, for Azerbaijan, but also for the European Union. So the fact that now myself, on behalf of the European Union, and President Aliyev, on behalf of Azerbaijan, have signed this joint declaration that has a very, let's say, important content, as you can see, is in fact of the utmost importance, and I'm sure it will now have some important practical consequences in the next months. And we are working very actively on that on our side, but also on the Azerbaijan side. Some of the decisions have to be taken, I want to make that point clear, by the investors. Those are commercial decisions, but from a political point of view, it is clear now what the direction is and where we are heading.
Azertouch Information Agency, please.
My question is to Mr. Barroso. As you know, within the framework of European energy security, a number of gas projects like Nabucco, Turkey, Greece, Italy, Trans-Adriatic Pipeline, and Agri are under discussion. Which of these projects is considered as a priority by EU?
Look, the European Union has stated clearly that we are supporting the Southern Corridor, and some of the decisions have to be taken commercially. It is clear, nevertheless, that in terms of the volumes, in terms of what it can bring of added value, Nabucco is the project that responds more comprehensively to the interest, I would say, not only of the European Union, but also of Azerbaijan, because there are, as President Aliyev just explained clearly, new fields, new resources, and Nabucco is, by its importance, by its dimension, by the fact that it's a new infrastructure, is responding more to those needs. At the same time, of course, we believe it is important to reinforce politically the support to the whole Southern Corridor. We don't necessarily see those projects contradictory. Afterwards, it's up to the commercial entities to take their decisions, but there should be no illusion that from strategic importance point of view, the most important project is indeed Nabucco. That's why the European Union has decided recently to fund, to give some important signal in terms of funding. I mean, it was a fund just for a particular aspect, but nevertheless was showing our commitment to that project. That's why I was some time ago in Turkey for the signing of the intergovernmental agreement for the launching of Nabucco, and so we are in fact expressing our strong support to that project.
Thank you very much.